Hi, this is Augustina Landeros, and this is week 4 of Principles of Public Administration. And this week we learned about different theories of leadership. One such theory is Herzberg's theory. A psychologist, Frederick Herzberg, his theory, also known as Herzberg's motivation hygiene theory or the dual factor theory, states that there are certain factors in the workplace that cause job satisfaction, while there's a whole separate set of factors that cause dissatisfaction. Another theory is the trait theory. This theory states that people are born with leadership traits, that traits such as being ambitious, being assertive, being cooperative, um, being intelligent, creative, diplomatic, those are all things that you're born with. Another theory is the behavioral theory. This is kind of the opposite of the trait theory, the role theory, and this theory is kind of like a nature versus nurture thing where leaders can be made. They can be taught to be leaders through social interaction, through reading, through training, but leadership is a skill that can be attained. And another leadership theory are Lewin's leadership styles. Kurt Lewin and his colleagues, they did a study and they decided that there were 3 different leadership styles. The first one being autocratic. This type of leader makes decisions without asking for anybody else's input. Um, this theory tends to be the most makes people not content, and people don't like to live under usually an autocratic regime. There's democratic leaders. They take the majority opinion into mind when they're making their decisions. And then there's laissez-faire, where there's very little leadership interaction in the decision making, and they let the people decide for themselves how things should be done. Typically, the democratic style is what makes people the most happy. A scenario that I found is just studying President Trump. Um, so I think that he falls into the trait theory. He seems to be a born leader. He's smart, he's bold, um, he's a little autocratic, he makes decisions. Um, Sometimes he's forced to because Congress doesn't cooperate, and they tend to be contrarian with him, not necessarily because it's the right thing to do, but just because they don't like him, which President Trump, either it seems as if either you love him or you hate him, and the establishment politicians do not like him. And an example would be making the decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. It's something that many presidents promised to do, something that he followed through on. Also, pulling America out of the Trans Pacific Partnership as well as the Iran nuclear deal. Those deals were not good for Americans. I know not all Americans agree on that, but he made the decision and he followed through, which is very typical of his leadership style. Here's a picture of President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the president of Israel, or the prime minister, I apologize, of Israel, shaking hands. And our relations with Israel have improved significantly since President Trump has taken office. That's the end. Thank you for watching.